Okay, this literally came over the line about 25 minutes ago. Officer Edward Nero, charged in relation to Freddie Gray, is not guilty on all charges. The judge dismissed all charges. Now, if you are charged with the crime, you can either ask for a bench trial, which means the judge decides everything, or a jury trial, which means jury of your peers, which means they decide everything. Now, if you have a jury trial, the judge can think that you're Hitler, but if the jury says otherwise, you go free, and also vice versa. Now, the Supreme Court said if you're charged with the misdemeanor, you can ask the judge for a jury, but the judge can legally say no. Because you can say, listen, you're charged with a misdemeanor, you're looking at 1 day in jail, I'm going to try you myself. But the Supreme Court also said if you're charged with a felony and you want a jury, you have to get one. Now, he was charged with misconduct in office, assault, and reckless endangerment. There might have been a felony in there. I don't know. But anyway. Now, he was on bicycle patrol. We really don't see that much of that anymore. Some places yes, some places no. And he was in an area where the prosecutor, yes, that prosecutor, said, be vigilant. This is a high crime area, high drug area. I want people to be vigilant and I want arrests to be made. Okay? And he saw Freddie Gray. Now, Freddie Gray, every day, prison, jail, probation, parole. Freddie Gray, and I read his rap sheet in one of my previous videos talking about this case. Assault this, drugs that. He was charged, in some cases were charged like he would be arrested 1 day and then 2 days later again. Freddie Gray was either going to A, spend the rest of his life in prison, B, be shot by a criminal and killed, C, be shot by an armed citizen and killed, or D, shot by a cop and killed, okay? Freddie Gray, his life meant nothing. His life is worth nothing. Literally nothing, okay? If you had a bucket of dog shit and Freddie Gray and the building was on fire and you could only save one, save the bucket of dog shit. That's what his life was worth, okay? Now, typically, if you are, and the cops see people jogging all the time. The cop be on patrol, see a guy jogging, he'll see a guy practicing for a marathon. They're not stupid, okay? But if you see a cop and you just take off running, he might be suspicious. Now, it depends on the circumstances, okay? You might be like, oh shit, and start running because you're missing the bus, you're missing the train, you're late for work. Things happen, okay? Cops realize that. I got guys in my neighborhood run all the time. I got guys running to the buses, parents running to the school buses, people, I all the time. Cops see nothing of it. But if you're in an area where the cops know there are drugs and know there are gangs, and if you're a person, specific person, that every cop in the city knows because you love being arrested, you can't stay out of jail, and you run, you know, there's a difference between the way a law-abiding citizen operates and a criminal operates. The law-abiding citizen is treated and the criminal is treated, okay? Because Freddie Gray was a known criminal in a known bad neighborhood, okay, his running told the police he's probably up to no good again, okay? If a school kid was running, if a nun was running, okay, if a doctor was running, if a cab driver was running, they probably wouldn't have given a shit. But because he is who he is, they said, wait a minute, why is he running? He must be doing something. He just saw us and started running. Okay, my advice is if you're running and a cop stops you, hands in the air and explain yourself. Okay? Don't be a fucking asshole because you're going to get in trouble. Okay? Hands in the air and explain yourself. Okay? It can happen to anybody. You could be a cop yourself off duty jogging and another cop would stop and say, oh, okay. Just be fucking polite, okay? He starts running. Then they run after him. And I don't know if they tackled him and found the knife, or they saw it, but whatever. They got him. He's got a knife on him. Now, ultra-liberal cities like to pass ultra-stupid laws. You can't walk backwards with an ice cream cone in your pocket. You can't have a knife because it looks scary. You can't have a bottle opener because they have stupid laws, okay? Now, you have the city council that passes stupid city ordinances. and we have the police that have to actually enforce the law. Now, they're called blue laws. The air freshener on your rearview mirror. That's illegal. Most cops don't give a shit. Now, if the cop suspects you of something, he'll pull you over, say, aha, air freshener, traffic ticket. Why does the car smell like marijuana? Okay? They use that to build a case. They start off with some stupid little bullshit, air freshener on the mirror, or pocket knife that you're not, okay? They start off there and they build up the case from that. Now, Freddie Gray's knife, I think was a sister opener or some shit like that, but it was a knife the city ordinance didn't like. Now, in theory, if a black preacher, if a black doctor, if a black college student, if a black bus driver, if a black grocery store manager, okay, if a black construction worker had that knife, they would not give a shit. But special circumstances, because it is Freddie Gray, the criminal, because he's in the bad neighborhood, they arrested him for the knife. Some knives are single-hand opener. Some knives are two-hand opener. Yeah, I'm using the same knife. Some knives will open up halfway, and then a spring will kick in and flip them like that, okay? But they arrested him for the knife. And he was charged, Officer Nero was charged with assault because by making an unlawful arrest, you're grabbing a guy, putting his hands behind his back, cuffing him. You're touching him inappropriately because you're arresting him illegally. That was the assault. Now, because Freddie Gray is a career criminal, and because the knife is illegal, the case stuck, the arrest stuck. Assault is dropped. Misconduct in office means you're doing something wrong. Okay, you're a public servant doing something wrong. Okay, you're a school teacher smoking weed on school property. That's wrong. Misconduct in office. Okay. Now, when the van came, because these are bicycle officers, they can't put Freddie Gray in the back of the bicycle and put him to fucking jail. They have to call for a vehicle. In this case, one of those paddy wagons. The wagon shows up. Now, according to police procedure, the driver of the van is required to buckle Freddie Gray in. Nero was charged with reckless endangerment because he didn't buckle Freddie Gray in. But the law says the driver buckles Freddie Gray in, not the bicycle cop. So Officer Nero was excused from that duty. And the prosecutor and the defense were going back and forth, and the judge said, okay, not guilty. Because when you go to criminal court, if you are not 1,000% guilty, no questions asked, the case must be dropped, okay? If there's any doubt, they have to dismiss you because they can't just put you in jail. Now, I think he was correct in doing what he did, bench trial, because you had a neighborhood that is 1,000% black. I mean, I don't want to be, that's the way it was, okay? The neighborhood is predominantly black. And they had been fed shit by Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Louis Farrakhan and the media about, you know, St. Frederick of Grandstand and all this shit, okay? So it's entirely possible he would have gotten a prejudiced jury. There were guys saying, I want to register to vote so I can be put in a jury pool and go on the jury and find the motherfuckers guilty and hang them. That's not how to behave when you're on a jury. So he was probably afraid that if he got a bunch of assholes on a jury, like the last guy, there was a case was thrown out. The last case, it was a hung jury, but it's going to be retried. You can retry. If the jury can't make up their mind, the case can be retried. That's a loophole to the Sixth Amendment. He said, listen, if I get a couple assholes on the jury, they're going to hang the case up, hung jury, and I got to go back to trial again. If I get a whole bunch of assholes on the jury, I'm going to go to fucking jail. So I'll get a judge because the judge went to law school. The judge doesn't have an agenda. The judge has to be professional. He's required to be professional by law. Otherwise, he can be disbarred and impeached and thrown in the gutter. So he said, let's go with the judge. And the judge said, hey, look. You got a criminal in a bad neighborhood. He's got a knife. The knife is illegal according to city law. Okay. First of all, you can't really charge a cop with making a wrong arrest accidentally. The cop might arrest a guy and the guy might be not guilty. Can't charge the cop with a crime. Okay? The cop has to believe there's a 51% chance you committed a crime. Then he arrests you. If he believes there's a 51% chance you committed the crime, he arrests you. That's it. Okay? And yes, Freddie Gray, the drug dealer, had an illegal knife on him according to city law. Arrest him. Now, I'm thinking that a couple more cases are going to be dropped. Maybe the guy charged with fucking murder might get something down. I don't know. We got to wait and see. But this guy, his case is dismissed. He cannot be retried. That's 1 down, 5 to go. 4 going to trial, 1 is going to retrial. Now, to be honest, all kidding aside, the world is better off with Freddie Gray being dead. The world is a better place now that Freddie Gray is dead, okay? Because Freddie Gray, to quote my friend Humans for Targets, would have stabbed your mother for $2 in her purse, okay? Freddie Gray was a drug dealer and a thug and a thief and a piece of shit, okay? Freddie Gray sold drugs to black kids so he can get money for himself, okay? Black kids are addicted to drugs because of Freddie Gray. Black kids might have died because of Freddie Gray's drugs, okay? The world is a better place without Freddie Gray, okay? A lot of guys are saying about Black Lives Mattering. Well, Black Lives didn't matter when Freddie Gray was selling drugs to black kids. Black Lives only matter when Freddie Gray died in a fucking police van, okay? From a practical standpoint, the world is a better place now that Freddie Gray is dead. And yes, he is in hell. Thank you.